Now, what are the implications of Smotrich's statements refusing to allow the establishment of a Palestinian state?
This is not new to us. In fact, the Israeli Knesset has unanimously voted a few months ago to prevent the Palestinian people to establish a independent, viable Palestinian state. And right now, the main program of the current Israeli government predicates upon the prevention of the establishment of a Palestinian state. And in fact, there was an agreement to prevent the establishment of the Palestinian state and to return settlers into the Gaza Strip. And in the governmental coalition, in fact, it is being discussed to expand into the Gaza Strip and to establish new settlements. And in fact, 40,000 expanses of land in the West Bank are going to be used for settlements.
But how would the implying that there's absolutely no tolerance for establishing a Palestinian state would affect the path of negotiations, since all negotiations include the prerequisite of having a Palestinian state for stability and security of the whole region, not just the Palestinian-Israeli conflict?
In fact, first, Israel, through this prevention, is violating the 402 and 338 Security Council resolutions. As well, Israel, by that, is challenging the countries that have been promoting normalization with Israel in the region. In fact, in 2019, Israel was just claiming that it wants some kind of a persuasive resolution regarding the Palestinian issue, but definitely this kind of persuasion resolution will never pass without the establishment of a viable independent Palestinian state in order for the war to stop expanding in the region. In fact, practically speaking, we can say that Israel is playing literally with international peace and security. And Israel keeps on expanding wars with Arabs and the Palestinians. And in fact, the crisis will never come to a resolution if it wasn't for the establishment of a viable independent Palestinian state. In fact, a lot of extremist groups, Jewish extremist groups, and those claiming to be Muslim extremist groups, they use Palestine as a pretext in order to expand and double down on their terroristic offensives.
Let's go back to the point you were referring to now. There's been a draft proposed by a Likud member in the Knesset that would allow the freedom of movement for Israelis in Gaza. Now, how do you comment on this, and how do you think it would affect the dynamics of the war and also the discourse of any kind of peace negotiations in the upcoming future?
On the 8th day of this battle, in fact, the Likud passed a document named as the document of the 6 papers. In fact, the Likud party wanted to control all natural gas resources in the Sea of Gaza and wanted to control the transfer of natural gas from Gaza all the way to Ascalon in Israel in order for this gas to be transferred all the way to Cyprus in order for Israel to establish partnerships with Cyprus and with other European countries. Israel has a clear agenda, which is to loot all the Palestinian resources. It is beyond clear that they have a settlement policy and they want to keep on establishing new settlements in the area between Gaza Strip and the corridor of Mediterranean. Israelis just want to further control these border areas in order to double down on their economic projects. If you notice what's happening in the Israeli media and journalism, you might have noticed that these 6 papers, their content has been leaked, and the content of them